So yeah, I'm creating this right now because I just got really inspired. My ankle's injured right now, and I can't really play soccer too much. So I'm healing that. But what I can do is play a bunch of Rocket League. And I was in this practice. I'm in Hawaii right now, and I have all this time to just relax and connect with God. And God guided me to play more Rocket League. And I was guided into it, and I experienced these incredible deep flow states. It's almost like God was moving through me playing, and it's just beautiful. I know God wants to show me something, and so I'm gonna be documenting the journey because that's another excitement of mine, creating content and sharing myself. And I wanted to make it more of documenting the process and sharing what it is that I go through along the way, because already what I'm experiencing is I'm running into a lot of blockages, different places where my mind gets all wrapped up in loss and competition and not playing as good and losing that flow state. And the whole intention is for me to become more and more one with God and to learn about God through doing this. And so sometimes I'm gonna lose track of that maybe, but whatever it is, I'm just gonna document the process of what it is that I go through in the hopes that it helps somebody else out, and maybe helps them out to show and demonstrate how it is that I process and move through different things, and show people how to do that, and also just document the journey just for myself, so that I can really be intentional and hold myself accountable through this process to make it as intentional as possible. So yeah, I don't really know the exact intention, but I'm just gonna keep going. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I was just kind of like going back through my journals and trying to tap back in to that energy. I haven't even been playing, but I'm just getting a grasp, a feel for it. And I think I'm gonna have to listen back to, because I remember what inspired that connected space that I was in was listening to that first chapter in the second part of Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin, and it was incredible. So I'm gonna try to tap back into that. But yeah, these are kind of the energies. It's a really high awareness. I remember it felt like I was open and receptive, and it's like I was downloading energy from the game. It's almost like God is in the game of Rocket League and moving through everything to me. And I remember that the state that I entered was a deeply aware state, like a full awareness of everything. I was listening to Josh Waitzkin talk about his experience of learning Tai Chi for the first time, and how he finally relaxed enough till he could feel in his body, and this world of awareness was opened up to him inside of his own body. And I was like, dang, that's amazing. And I was inspired by that to play that with soccer, but also to bring that into Rocket League. And so I was literally playing Fortnite at the time, because it's fun. But also I like to play that with my sister. But I was just playing on my own. But I was literally just standing in the back of the game and being in that deep state of awareness. And I was just sitting in the back the whole time, but I was just becoming as present as I possibly could, and noticing how sensory my awareness could become. And I remember bringing myself into that state, and I feel like I can just spend so much time basically meditating myself into that space. But it's just a really deep sense of awareness and a deep connectedness with the car, because that's what I'm developing, is a deep awareness of the car and the ball, and really feeling for it and really being connected. And as I would do things, I was in a state of investing in loss. That's what that chapter is about, investing in loss, which means he was fighting against these people learning push hands, and he allowed himself to just get pushed around, and he allowed himself to just lose over and over and over again. He didn't push back or be in resistance. He allowed himself to really be open and receptive and for the flow of it, and allowed himself to get pushed around so that he could just lose over and over and over again, so he could learn. So his mindset was more on learning than it really was on trying to win or trying to win in that moment. And so by exhaling and fully relaxing and letting go of all the tension in my body or all the expectations, because I also wrote that down too. I wrote down acceptance, a state of effortlessness, acceptance, like not having any preference or expectation. Or because I remember today when I was playing, the whole time I was thinking like, oh, I'm not quite like how I was yesterday, and I was trying to get back to where I was yesterday instead of just being present with how I was playing now, instead of just be fully aware. Like trying to get back into that state is what held me back from being present, which was the state. So trying to get into the state and thinking and trying to get myself into it was all this mental activity that was pulling me away from the state itself, which was just being present and fully conscious and aware. And so just some energies I wrote down was allowance. I feel like that's a really powerful word, like zero control, zero effort, which all allows you to be present, to be at peace, to be fully relaxed, receptive, teachable, present, aware, natural, effortless, curious, learning. And I continue to notice that over and over again, like that state of receptivity, like being fully open and learning. It's like I said, focusing more on learning rather than playing good, and just fully surrendering to the learning process. That's what that chapter is all about: investing in loss and being teachable, learning from every single moment. I remember I was moving really, really slow. I feel like that's a particular thing. I was moving really, really slow when I was training all on my own. And it wasn't because the whole point is to go slow. It's just because that was helping me be really still mentally and really aware and really download and receive everything that happened in every single moment. And yeah, having zero preference, completely letting go of any expectation, labeling my experience in any way, judging myself. And the thing that I noticed is all these words: acceptance, allowance, peace, relaxation, receptivity, teachability, presence, awareness, feeling alive, passionate, natural, effort, curious, learning. I noticed that all of these energies are all aspects of God. And when I was on a walk earlier, I literally was just thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, it's just like God's not moving through right now. It's almost like God isn't moving through me. And I feel like that's the whole inspiration of what's occurring here. And that's another thing that I was thinking about, is that the main reason I don't want to, the whole point of this is not for me to become the greatest Rocket League player of all time. The whole point of this is for me to be one with God. And it just so happens that God wants me to be exploring this right now, because how it is that Rocket League actually came to me in the first place, how I started playing Rocket League again anyways, was because I was inspired by God to go play. Because God wants to teach me something about it, And so that's really important for me as well, is to just make sure that, I'm not falling back. I'm not falling away from God because I'm so focused on Rocket League. Like, that's a complete opposite thing that I really want to happen, So let me see. I really just wrote out a whole page right here of all this bunch of stuff. So let me see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, and just reflecting like where I'm at still, like I can still even, like I'm not even playing right now, but I can already just feel, and this is another thing I need to explore, I can just feel loss. I can feel myself feeling defeated and falling victim to hardship, or just losing games and being crushed and defeated, being in pools of self-pity. I can feel myself already being in that energy and in that state. And I think I'm gonna have to start working on my mindset. I'm gonna drop in with Jesus and really just go through that process and learning with Jesus and seeing how I can get myself out of that energy, so that I can start to perform again and feel like lit and excited. Because I remember I started playing 2v2 yesterday, and this is when I was still in that state of being. I was playing, I was like, dang, I'm gonna be so, because I haven't really played a lot of 2v2. Usually I play a lot of 1v1. I was like, yo, this is really fun. I'm like, I can see a whole lot of different things that I'm really good at because of all the 1v1, and I'm going to be able to destroy people in 2v2. And I was feeling confident, and I was feeling good about myself, and I was being creative in all these different ways. And maybe, so I'm gonna explore that. Maybe I'm being too prideful. Maybe there's definitely too much of a sense of identity. I'm definitely too attached to feeling. I'm definitely really attached to, like, whenever I lose, I start to feel like a loser. Like I should be learning and just investing in loss and like growing with that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.